You'll be surprised by some of the stuff you find on YouTube.
Hi, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC.
And you know, we're a lot alike these days.
Hexavalent chromium.
Beryllium.
Lead.
Brominated flame retardants.
Mercury.
It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine.
Good morning, slaves, and welcome to another edition of It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine, the show where we hate everything. I am your host, the Stimulator, and in First Nations news, on June 29th, Aboriginal groups all over Canada staged a national day of action to protest against poverty, polluted water, and on the government's slowness in processing land claims, among other things. Mohawk activist Sean Brand made good on his promise to show motherfuckers who's boss by staging Canada's biggest transportation blockade ever. From this school bus, Brand obstructed this rail line while monitoring the progress of other blockades via satellite TV. Pretty badass. Here's Sean Brand speaking a month prior to the blockade.
Because people don't care whether our children live or die. They haven't made them a priority. And now, in 2007, I don't give a rat's ass whether we create victims, whether white people like us or don't, whether the conservative government cares or it doesn't care. We're going to move forward in a campaign where we're going to demonstrate that we care.
In hot summer news, the West Coast has been frying up this week with triple-digit temperatures. From Vegas to LA, people have been cranking up the AC to seek refuge from the scorching heat. These air conditioning units then pump out more heat, making it hotter outside and causing blackouts in some areas. We asked California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger how he felt about the situation. If you think that's hot, think again. A lake in southern Chile disappeared. Yep, one day it was there, the next fucking gone.
The park custodians were there in March. In April, they couldn't get there, and in May, they found that the lake was empty and that the river had almost disappeared.
Scientists say melting glaciers put pressure on the ice wall that acted as a dam, causing the lake to completely drain. So this summer, make sure you enjoy your local pond, because next year, it might not be there. Would you shit in your own living room? I wouldn't, at least not on purpose. That's what we do every time we buy the latest, greatest gadget and discard our 6-month-old Palmberry iPod. But let me back up for a second. Not too long ago, I was a gadget freak. I once spent $400 on a phone so big that when I put it in my pant pocket, I looked like I had a massive hard-on. I even wrote an article 3 years ago about the need for Apple to design a cell phone /camera /video player /iPod. Ironic, isn't it? Because I am about to slam the iPhone. Nope, I was not born knowing everything, although you would not know that from watching the show. Our society does not really tell us what happens to stuff when we chuck it. As you saw a few episodes ago when I interviewed Debbie Reaper from Free Geek, computers have a shit ton of components that end up in landfills here and abroad, and when it rains, the crap ends up in the water supply. Same shit happens with gadgets such as cell phones. The circuit boards, lithium batteries, plastic, etc. don't just vanish. If you don't know where your last phone went after you discarded it, you might as well take a dump on your own carpet. I'm sure by now you see where the iPhone fits into this whole thing. Aside from other issues that piss me off about it, such as
just an unknown government collaborator, personal privacy hater, and would-be monopoly AT&T as the only carrier. But every time you buy an iPhone, you further inflate Steve Jobs' already hyperinflated ego.
The thing that I want to focus on is on the 500,000 phones that need to be recycled after last weekend. What is going to happen to all those Nokias, Blackberries, Ericssons, etc.? You got it. They will almost certainly end up in the trash. The moral of this story is that if we are serious about saving this orbiting rock that we call home, we have to consider every single motherfucking purchase we make and ask ourselves what the fuck is going to happen with the shit after we're done with it. Do I really need that latest greatest cock laser? Is this thing really gonna get me laid? Would I piss in my daughter's glass of water? Speaking of dumps, do you ever wonder where that soft, charming asswipe you see every morning after coffee comes from? I'll give you a hint. A real Ansel once said, "When I look at trees, I see toilet paper." To address this and other pressing forestry issues, I talked to Zoe Blunt at the Wild Earth Gathering in Vancouver Island. Hey Zoe, how the fuck are you?
It's great out here. It's just been a beautiful day. People are swimming in the lake, folks are making lunch. I feel great.
So, what the fuck is a clear cut?
What we're out here in BC and across North America, when they do industrial logging, they actually take and just remove all of the trees. They level everything. They leave nothing but stumps and slash piles. And they burn the slash piles and they take out all the timber. And what's left is a wasteland. It's like they take a rainforest and turn it into a desert.
Zoe Blunt, why are clear cuts bad?
It destroys the soil. In a lot of these areas, like this clearing behind me up on the hill, you can see the soil is exposed. The ultraviolet kills off all the mosses, the funguses that hold the forest, that hold the soil together. When the stumps rot and the roots die, then the slopes slide. And often there's not much regrowth. There's no regeneration of the forest. They do some replanting. It doesn't always work because there's no soil left. It washes down into the streams, it kills the salmon, it fills up the reservoirs, it causes all kinds of flood damage downstream.
What are the dead trees used for?
They use them for pulp, they export them whole to the United States and to Japan. There's not very much milling that happens anymore in BC. It's just getting exported for pulp and paper and fiberboard and plywood and whatever else. Not a lot of value added.
How are you resisting all this bullshit?
What we're doing is training people in not only media strategies and campaign strategies for raising awareness, but also civil disobedience strategies to block the road, to block the trucks from coming in, to stop the loggers from going to work. We have support in place for people who want to commit civil disobedience, who intend to get arrested to stop the logging. The thing is, when we block the road, these trees are very valuable, and the laws are all profit-driven. They're all driven by the corporations. The police are there to enforce the corporations' right to log, not to enforce our right to stop them and protect the ecosystem. There's so little that's left of the old-growth forest like this that we see on the sides here. There's so little that's left that people are putting their bodies on the line. They are willing to make huge sacrifices to stop the forest from being sacrificed, and the water and the air quality and the global climate. So people are resisting in all kinds of peaceful and non-violent ways here in BC.
And that about does it for another edition of It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine. To find out more about clear cuts and what you can do to resist, go to wildearth2007.blogspot.com. For hate mail and alternative toilet paper options, email me asswipe@submedia.tv. Burn a match.